What's up, guys? Yuri here. So I want to share a quick little story about how it all started for me. When I say how it all started for me, I really mean kind of how I started my business back in 2006 online. And I think this will really be valuable to you because, listen, I'm nothing special. I'm no guru. I'm no dude who knows everything. The only reason that I'm here and I'm able to help a lot of other people is just because I've put in the work. I've put in the reps, and I was smart enough after being stupid enough to eventually get the right help. So how it all started for me was this. I was actually, a lot of you know my story, started off as a trainer. When I was in school, I was studying kinesiology and health sciences, and I wanted to get more practical experience for what I was learning. So I started off as a trainer working with clients. Then when I graduated, I actually played professional soccer, and then I retired when I was 24, came back to Toronto and met my now wife, and she was interested in going to school for holistic nutrition, and I'm like, yeah, let's do this, right? Sounds pretty cool. Anyways, learned a lot of great stuff through that educational experience, but one of the cool things, I had no clue about how to build a business. I had no clue how to do any of that kind of stuff. And my first introduction to kind of mindset growth, business growth was two things. Number one was Tony Robbins, a good friend of mine, actually my roommate, one of my best friends in school, Henry. He actually gave me Tony Robbins' 10-day program. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, I listened to that while I was in France playing soccer. It was a real big game changer for me. And when I came back to Toronto, I somehow was introduced to T. Harv Eker and that whole world of like the Millionaire Mind and so forth. So I went to one of his events, and from that event, it was actually really interesting to look at how they made their offers from stage. And one of the offers was to get a coach and start coaching with them. And that's what I did. So I hired my first coach, and we worked together for probably a year and a half. Every month we'd have 2 calls, about 20, 25 minutes each. And they were really focused on mindset. Like at the time I had I wasn't at the right place to think about tactics and strategies. So we focused on mindset, and that's really where I needed to start. And this is where everyone needs to start, is laying that foundation, because if you don't have that foundation, it's very tough to build on top of that. So what I had done for the first year with him was really to build out the foundation of, getting out of my own way. What does that look like in terms of, what do I want to create? What are some of the things that are holding me back? What are some limiting beliefs? And about a year into working together, now we're getting into 2006, I don't even know how this came about, but we started talking about this whole internet thing. And he said, hey, why don't you set up a website? And I was like, I don't even know how to set up a website, but let's kind of look at what that might look like. And that's kind of where it all started. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because the only reason I was able to start to move in the direction that I'm now in is because I worked with that coach initially, even though it wasn't like a business coach necessarily, but having the wherewithal to understand that I only know what I know. And the same thing happened in soccer. I mean, I knew from a very young age that I wanted to play professionally, but I knew that I couldn't do that myself. So I was constantly, as a goalie, seeking out the best coaches. I was able to train in Brazil with Sao Paulo FC, which is arguably the best team of all time in Brazil. I was able to go to all sorts of high-level training camps, to the point of being able to play with Team Ontario and not quite Team Canada, just based on the way my birthday was lined up with the age brackets. But anyways, I was all seeking out, how do I get better training? How do I improve myself? And that was really where it all started for me with my online business. Was this coach at the time was just like, hey, set up a website. I know someone who can help you out. And the website was pretty crappy, to be honest with you. And he wasn't really an expert at helping build an online business, but it was really his encouragement that started me thinking, maybe I can share more with more people online. And that's kind of how it all started. So I want to just kind of give a big shout out to Andreas. I don't know if he's watching or where he is in the world, but I just want to give a big shout out to you, to Andreas, for giving that initial push into allowing me to do what I do. And then the mistake I made was, instead of looking at, okay, here's where I'm at and here's where I need to go, I need to figure out this gap. Instead of me saying, how do I do this? I should have just been asking for the who. And that's what smart people do. So instead of being smart, I decided to be stubborn, and I tried figuring things out on my own for the next 3 years. And if you guys know my story, 2006 to 2009, not very cool. Wasn't very lucrative. started giving up a lot of my in-person clients. My income started dropping significantly, and I was doing 1,000 things with my online business. And if you've ever been there, it's not a lot of fun. And once again, the inflection point of my business was the beginning of 2010, when again I made the decision to hire a coach. And I can tell you guys that you can invest in yourself, whether that's through coaching, some type of personal growth, education. You will always win. You will never lose, even if the coach is terrible, even if the program is horrible. There is always a nugget that's going to help you get to the next level. And hopefully, you're obviously working with someone who is great, because then you can exponentially get better results. So I want to share that with you today because I really believe in coaching. That's why our whole business is built around coaching, because I really believe that most people are not going to succeed on their own. That's why most courses have a 3% completion rate. You kind of do the course, you pay $1,000, most people don't do it. And that's why we recognize that for the clients that we want to serve, we really want to hold their hand and walk them through the process and do it with them, because that's how we can help them get better results. So whether or not you work with us or someone else, hire a coach. And the key word is hire. Don't expect to do things for free, because when you don't pay attention. And the more you invest, the more you're invested. So when I hired my first business coach in 2010, it was $18,000. I didn't have $18,000, so I threw it on my credit card. And I'm the type of guy that's like, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out. So I'm not telling you to put yourself in a really bad financial situation, but if you believe in yourself and you believe in the gift that you have to offer others, you got to take a chance, right? You got to step out on the ledge, and you have to believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing. Because if you don't, and you're always waiting for things to show like how things are going to unfold, like you want the proof before you step forward, it's going to be a long road. And quite honestly, entrepreneurship is created up here first. Everything in this world, from the car that I'm looking at to the plane that you're flying on, everything started up here as the thought. And you have to understand that everything starts here before it materializes. So that's the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur, is that we create stuff out of thin air. And so you have to be able to take that leap, have that faith in yourself to understand maybe what I'm looking to do is not necessarily done already, but I believe in myself. And yes, like we all want social proof, we all want to see what other people are doing, but at the end of the day, other people's results have zero bearing on your results. If it's a hell yes for you, if it feels right to you, that's your signal to move forward. Your intuition is your best coach. Listen to it, ride it forward, and you can thank me in a couple of years. All right. So anyways, hope this finds you well. I would love to know for you, like, do you currently have a coach? Let me know in the comments below. If yes, who it is, if you enjoy working with them. If not, hey, that's all good as well. But anyways, hope this message helps you out. That's kind of how I got started. It's kind of where I'm at, right now, because I'm constantly hiring new coaches, and every year I'm looking to build and better myself. And I think you should as well. So that's all for today. Hope you guys have an awesome one, and I'll see you in the next video.